Okay, we're live on YouTube. Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook. Today, I want to do something different. If you're watching me on YouTube, you don't have the chance to actually ask questions. So what you can do if you want to ask questions, because we're going to be here for an hour and I'll be taking a lot of questions from you, is you should join using this link here. You know the link? Click on the link, join right now. If you join right now, you will be able to ask your questions. So what I wanted to show you is what we are going to do today, because today I'll do it a little different. For next week, the entire week, I will be with you. We will be doing a live session of trading, and it will be for 2 hours a day. So exactly at this time, 8 a.m. New York time, we will go on for 2 hours every single day, and we will be trading. I did one session before. A lot of you saw it. You figure out, whether you like it or not. So it doesn't make sense for me to do the charts today. That will be useless tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'll be showing you live trades. I'll not only show you trades that I'm taking, I will show you setups that are in charts that I'm not trading. For example, I don't trade cryptos. But if there's a setup there that I would have taken the trade, let's say I'm trading it and I like the setup and I would have taken the trade, I would show you what is on the setup and why I would take the trade and where I would put my stop and how I'll manage it. So you would get a chance to see not only the trades I take, but possible trades that anybody could have taken, including trades my traders are taking, because my traders do trade a lot of stuff that I don't trade. I could be honest with you. We have a whole group for crypto traders. We have a group of option traders. We have a group for stock traders, that subgroups within our group that trade those stuff, and I don't trade them. So what I want to do today is let's get a session of Q&A. You get to ask me any questions you want about trading, and I will try my best to answer them. Anything you want to ask me about trading, and I will try my best to answer it. So we will give those guys some chance from YouTube to come across and have their questions answered as well. Join live. You can ask your question and get it answered. You can stick around on YouTube if you don't want to ask a question, but you want to yes, we have options. Michael, you again. You're the first time you hear we have options. You're in the group for 5 years. The guys are trading options for 3 years. What's wrong with you? What's your problem, Michael? This is one of my students. I don't know what his problem is. He's always going on like really crazy stuff. He's in the group for 5 years. We've been trading options for 3 years. And everybody, we have a group in there. He's in there. He knows it. And I was looking at somebody new who's going to ask me that question who's not in the group. Yes, we do use options. It's really funny, right? Because this guy's in the group for 5 years. Michael, please. I know you're a good guy, but I'm here in a free trial. Do you know who Mark, as I am subscribed to his trading guys, and he trades in the very easy. I am not sure who that is. Maybe he's somebody I know. I'm not. I'll have to check to see if he was in my group and must have left, or I might have removed him or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of people out there trading like my style. Not just one person. There are hundreds of people who took my course, and for some reason they would want to do their own thing if they think they're capable of doing it. The question will be to you. So we don't discuss people here. I'm not interested in the people themselves. I'm interested in contents and quality, and let's discuss all the things. So whoever that person is, my apology to him. We don't want to discuss him, but we could discuss. If you want to discuss a general topic that are there people out there doing similar things to me? Yes, there's a ton of them. There's a lot of them doing similar things to me, but similar doesn't mean the same, right? So that's my answer to it. Your choice. Here's the thing. You have to make a choice. Here is how you will make your choice, what you do, right? I can't tell you who to follow. I can't tell you who to join. And I really would never do that. It's your choice what you do. I can tell you how to decide who you're going to join or who you're going to follow, what criteria you should go through for that. So let's go with the very first criteria that you should look for when you're trying to join anybody for anything. If the person says, I'm a trader, the first question you ask them, can you please show us if you trade? So let's start with that. Since I am telling you I'm a trader and I'm telling you that's what you should do, how about I show you if I'm a trader, right? Wouldn't that be good? So I lost my cursor, so let me bring it back. It's here. So I'm showing you that I'm a trader. I'm a real trader trading real money, live money. And by the way, this is not my money, as you can see. This money does not belong to me. This is the account that I'm managing for one of my clients. I have many clients. This is one of the accounts that I manage. I've had agreement with this client. When he joined me, he actually told me himself, he said, I know you trade for other people and you're not showing those accounts, but I would like you to show my account if you want to. If you so choose to show it, I would like you to show it. I have nothing against you showing it, right? I was like, okay, I will think about it. And then I thought about it and said, you know what? If he has nothing against it, then I might as well show it because I'm trading it and he's cool with that, right? And will it help some people in the market? I was like, yes, it will. It will help you to identify that this person is actually a real trader. That's the number one thing you want to know. If you're going to follow anybody and they can't, or when they're showing you $1,000, $2,000 account, I mean, please. A professional trader showing you a $1,000 account, like really? You make the choice. I'm not telling you whether you should or not, but you make that choice, right? But really, is that the criteria that you want to follow somebody who's a professional trader trading a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 account? That's a retail trader that's low, way beyond the retail scale, right? I don't even accept traders in my group with such small accounts. I always tell my traders, you need a very good account to be in the group. That's the first criteria. Second criteria is you need to have at least 1 year experience before you can join me. Why the 1 year experience? The 1 year experience is to make sure that you know what you're doing. Because if you don't have 1 year experience, it's easy to fool you. It's easy to trap you into things you have no idea about. And this comes directly from my experience. I'll tell you, this came directly from my personal experience. I paid $5,000 to learn support and resistance. Can you imagine that? Well, that is because I had no idea what I was doing. Right? Within the first 2 weeks that I decided I had to learn about trading because of what happened to me in my experience, I decided I'm going to find somebody to trade me. So it took me like a month or two. I actually looked at a lot of videos in that period of time. And then I decided, okay, I'll take this guy to do it because he seems to make more sense to me than everybody else in the market. And I took him, and it was all support and resistance. It was all useless. It didn't make sense. But am I angry with the guy? No, it's my fault. I made the mistake of choosing him, not knowing what he's doing. Had I followed him for a month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months and figure out what he's doing, his quality, his content, and then decide, in 6 months, I would have made that decision that is useless to me. Because in 6 months, I did make the decision that whatever he's teaching me is useless. And I left the group. Although I paid for about a year subscription, I actually left in 6 months. So the 5 year was like a 1 year subscription to his charts and the course you were doing, 3 days course is 3 days. And I think I should have been suspicious immediately if somebody said they were going to teach me to trade in 3 days. Or with a set of videos. In 3 days, I can't teach you to trade. Nobody can teach you to trade in 3 days. So that should have been my first point of suspicion. Because 3 days, you will never learn anything. And the second thing is you have to pay to stay in the group. So that should have been my second flag. If you're training me, why you want me to pay to stay with you? Because you've already trained me, right? So you're teaching me all the knowledge you have. Why should I go away? Right? So from that experience, I decided I didn't even decide to create a group. I just decided when people encouraged me to train them, I said, okay, if we create a group, this is how we're going to do it. We're not going to charge people to stay there. And we're not going to give them a 3 day something nonsense. We're going to make sure that they become profitable. We're going to keep you in the group and make sure you become profitable before we allow you to go. Right? So that was my philosophy. That was my principle. I'm going to help you to be successful. And everything we do in our group, everything we create, and we do change, we do a lot of changes every now and then. They are all to help traders become successful. And I do a poll every now and then. If you're in my group, you would see a poll like this. Right? I'll come back to my account, don't worry. You will see a poll like this every now and then. I personally do this so that I can help people. So we did this poll. These are new traders who have just joined the group. These are people who are already in the group for more than a period of time, 6 months or more. They've completed the course. 37% made less than 5%. 20% of them made more than 5%. This is for March month. This one was specific for March month. And 10% of them made more than 17%. Well, March month is an exception. Let me just get this clear to you. March month was an exceptionally good month. So I wanted to know if in a very good month, there are traders in my group who are not making money, I need to help them. So there were 11% who were not making money. This was why I did it. If you want to know why I did the poll, it was for this 11% of traders. Because immediately after that, I created a group and I add all of them to it. Right now, you will see that this 11% was not This was only about 15 people, but I asked everybody in the group who is not making money to join me. So they're in a separate group, and I'm doing separate training sessions with them. Personally, I'm doing separate training sessions with them. The training sessions I'm doing has to do direct with trading. It's not teaching them what I've taught them already. It's directly with trading. So one of the very first thing I got them to do when they get in the group, I said, okay, I want all of you to buy silver right now. Don't ask me any questions. Just go buy silver right now, right? Buy it so that the amount you buy is so small, it will never affect you. And I don't want you to ever close that trade until I tell you to do so. Now, you may ask why the hell you did that. And they were asking why the hell I did that. So as we're going along and 1 week finish, I'm explaining to them why they need to do that. There's a specific reason why you need to do this. No stops, nothing. Put one trade on and leave it. And you would learn so much. You would learn so much, because as I'm teaching them and as the week is getting in, they're like, okay, I can see your point now. I can see what they see where they're getting it wrong. The biggest problem with most traders in the market is they're afraid of the charts. They're trading from a point of failure. And if you do that, you will never become a successful trader, ever. So coming back to the question somebody asked, right? Here's the deal. You're going to choose somebody to train you eventually if you want to learn. So these are the criteria which you should use. Is the person a trader really? Let him show you his trading account. If he showed you his trading account, then he's a trader. And then if it's trader, you will decide what kind of a trader he is. Is he really a big trader, a small trader, somebody who is successful, somebody you can follow, somebody whose style you like, somebody who has the knowledge to trade you? Well, you can do all of that by following what he's doing, his content on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, for about a year. And most of you are following me for more than a year, so you would know, right? So let's come back to the account as we normally do. These were the trades I had on for last week. Silver, Pound CAD, USD CAD. These are new trades I took this week. And then there was a whole bunch that I took and I closed already. So let's look at the account. Last week, this one was at 665. Now it's 692. So I've gained about $20-something thousand, right? I think you can see that very clearly. This account is always in a drawdown, and I told you it will always be in a drawdown. So this one was at 545, I think, last week. It's at 581. This is insignificant. The only significance of that is that I never want that to go more than 20% or 30% down. The agreement I have with my investor is that it should never go to 30%. I try to keep it above 20%. Right? So that is it. So am I making money? Am I a good trader? This account started from November, if you know, right? All of you been following me, you saw it. I can even show you again if you want, but it started from November. So from November to now, I have made $192,000. That is money that I've already booked. That money is there, right? And right now, the account is in a slight drawdown. Am I worried about that? No. Do you remember there were some trades in drawdown last week that I already closed for profit this week? They are going to be trades for drawdown. So what I'm going to do is, before we go on, is while you guys are preparing your questions, I'm going to show you these trades, why I took these trades, what I'm going to do with these trades, and we will manage them for the whole week to come. You will be with me there. Most of you, I hope you're going to be there. And we will manage the trades together. I'll show you how I do and what I do. I'm never afraid of the charts, right? Because I understand how the structure develops. And let's start with the worst of them all, silver. Right now, it's 42 drawdown. So let's look at silver. Why am I in so much drawdown in silver? Why am I not worried about it? Because I'm sleeping pretty good, right? So let's go to silver. By the way, this is one we would talk about. While I'm on it, let me tell you. Remember, I was in the buy in this one. I think we were in the buy from this low. My first buy on this one came in somewhere here. And then when it went up, I took it off for break even, right? And then I bought back under this low, if you remember, just under this low here. And if you were following me, you would know that there were some people like, hey, he's losing his account on the Aussie New Zealand. And well, I closed that trade here, right at the top here. Well, there was a correction there in the lower time frame. Let's look at it in the 4 hour. So I closed it in this correction here. And I really never got back in because I had an entry order here at the top there to enter. And because of the new laws in Europe, that minimize the amount of margin usage you can have and the amount of leverage the bank is going to give you. Saxo did not click that trade. Saxo said it's denied because your margin level is too much, and my margin level was at 45%. Like it is right now, my margin level right now is 45%, around 40 something percent. Let's look at it. Where is that? Did I move the account? No, the account was here. Lower hands. Why is somebody hands up? Let me just remove this. My margin usage is only 40%. It was at 45%, but after that, I can't click trade. You can actually see it here. I should have that here. Let me see if they have it. Not here. It should be, where are these? I'm not here either. It's not there either. Oh, this has just changed the color of this side. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be here, I think, but you might not see it. I don't know. Oh, you have to go to notification. Sorry, you can find it here. Notification. No notification. Okay, so they're not showing me the history. So the notifications they don't give you, but whatever it is, that's the rule. Once you come close to 50%, they will not allow you to take more trade for whatever reason. I have no idea. The account is still positive, but they will not allow you. They actually closed 2 trades for me, denied to take 2 entries from me. That one was this entry, and the second one was the Euro New Zealand entry. Both were the same trades. So both of those entries were not taken. So I'm not in the trade again. I'll have to close some trades to be able to take these trades. So let's go. This is one we made profit in. A lot of my traders, why March month and why this month is very good, a lot of my traders made a lot of profit in this because we have been telling you it is going to go up. I've been telling you that for a long while back. And if you've been following me, you would know. When they break this low, I said to everybody, when they break this low, you start looking for buys. When they break this low here, you start looking for buys. Well, some of my traders actually got this before the new year because they had their entry order in there, right? And that's great. That's wonderful because I didn't put my entry order on. And then I took it from here, this area. I took one here, break even, and then took one here, and I close it. So I'm waiting for a correction here, and I'll take that trade again. I will get into this, and I'll try to stay with it because the movement has probably started, right? So if you were following me, you would know most of my traders make a lot of money in that. You see, we see structure, and we know what it's going to do. So we trade them. Next one, let's go to the silver. Well, I think all of you know my silver trades. Even the people who troll me and the people who are writing blogs about me. I'm coming a celebrity, by the way. You guys should thank me for that. There are people who have been spending their lifetime now trying to write bad things about me. They're creating sites, they're creating videos. So it kind of raised me to celebrity status, you know. Not all of you have somebody devoting themselves to you and writing negative things about you, right? I think only celebrities have that. So you can congratulate me. My status has been risen. I have some followers who really are gonna, I shouldn't say followers, I should say some, what you call these people who stalk you, like stalkers, right? You kind of I've got some of my own stalkers and my own little around the corner. So it makes me feel good. Like, hey, yeah, these guys are talking about me. I didn't know I was so important to them. I know, you know, it kind of feel like a celebrity. Only celebrities get that, right? Where they have to hide from people, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, I have somebody who's writing bad things about me on the internet. Am I so good? Well, that's okay. I'm there, right? It makes you know you're doing something good, right? So one of the things he wrote, I think, when somebody showed me the site, and a lot of you have sent me message, hey, there's a site, people writing bad things about it. I'm like, okay. It's okay, let them do it. That's no problem. Here's why it's okay. I'll tell you why. Well, let me finish what I'm doing. I'll tell you why it's okay. So, silver. We start buying silver here. All of you know I made a ton of money in silver to the top there, and it's pulling back. So I'm trapped in a trade here. Well, not trapped. I took a trade. I always want to buy silver. So once I closed my silver trade, I bought it back here, and then it went up. It didn't get to where I wanted break even. Then it come back, and I bought back here. So I'm in 2 trades on silver right now. One slightly up, one slightly negative, about 2,000, and the other one is big negative. But remember, my silver trades, one of them are here, and one of them are here. Right? Silver is going to 20 something. I think my target for silver would be 20 something. Remember the Aussie New Zealand, my target is here. So if I'm targeting this level and I'm buying here and I'm buying here, should I be worried about it? No, because I still think it's going to go and it's very good, right? So I'm not worried about that trade. And I'm telling you, if this thing goes anytime soon in the next month, this alone will double my account, because I want you to understand, within this area, I'm 42,000 drawdown. So just imagine if that goes to this level with those 2 trades on, and I'm hoping that I'll be adding about 3 or 4 more trades to it as it go there. That alone will double my account. And here's the thing, you will get to see it. All of you will get to see it. You are not going anywhere, right? I hope none of you are planning to leave me and go away, right? And I'm not going anywhere. So we're all going to be here and we're all going to be seeing it, right? So definitely you're going to get it. So don't worry about that. Let's go. So let me run through all the other trades. Punkcat, this is the one that people have been freaking about. Oh, sorry, I have to remove this. You guys don't mind if I remove it. Everybody got this? I'll come back to it. Let's do this. So Punkcat, let's deal with the Punkcat now. Punkcat. Have I ever told you guys this thing is going to go down? I can't remember that. Did I? I hope so, because it's going to go down. Just in case I never told you, just remember it will go down, right? Let me just repeat it so you can make sure you hear it very clearly and didn't say, oh, I don't know what he was saying. Look, it's falling, right? So it's going to go down. I'm telling you again, it's going to go down. So it's consolidating right now. And in that consolidation, if you look at all of this, it's a bigger consolidation. So right now, I made profit here and I made profit there. I already closed 2 trades with profit on Punkcat, right? Right now, it's kind of in the middle here. So there's a very good chance they might retest the top. There's a good chance they might do that, but I'm not closing the Punkcat trade. Let me repeat this to you again. I'm not closing that trade. Would I probably take a buy to the upside? Maybe. The buy is not a hedge to that account because it's not going to be equal and it's not going to be matching with that trade. It will be a separate trade of its own if I think I want to do that. You guys will be with me this week, so we will decide. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go back up. There's a chance that it's going to go back up, not necessarily it will go back up, because that's why I'm not going to. But this, even if they come to the top, that will give me an opportunity for another sell. And I hope that is the sell that breaks to the downside, right? As far as I'm concerned, structural change here to the upside is not here as yet. I mean, big move to the upside. There is no structural change for that. So I'm still with the sell, and we've been selling, and making money. If you don't know that, we took out a lot of trades that we made money on, and we will continue to sell it again, right? So let's go to the 1 hour and show you some of the trades we took. So just in case you want to know, we even took some money out of this on this piece here. We took some money on that piece. We took money on this piece coming down, and we will take more money out of this, right? If you're with me next week, you'll probably, I shouldn't say this, no, you're going to make your own trades. I'm not giving you trades. You will see how I make trades if you're with me next week, right? And if you like what I do, you know what to do. I can't tell you what to do. You know what to do, right? So is it going to go up? Not necessarily. There's a very good chance that this falls, right? There's a very good chance it falls, but there's a chance that they do this. We will look at the structure next week, and I'll show you what we look for. Well, maybe I'll show you what we look for in the structure before we take trades. Maybe. That's a maybe. Don't hold me in a promise in that one, because I'm not supposed to do that. Let's go. So I'm not worried about that trade. And I still have it. You can see I'm not hiding anything from anybody. Like I said, if you were going to follow anybody, this is what you want them to do. Show you that they're a real trader and they have a real account and they're doing the real stuff, right? Let's go. Next one. US CAD. Oh, this is a good one. This, I'm not even worried about this. I just like this trade. This is definitely going to go down. Let's look at the US CAD. So this is where it is. I got in the trade on the break of this. I had an entry here that, no, sorry, not there. My fault. I got in this one, I think, yeah, right here, right? Yep, this one here, sorry. Well, this was going down. I think somewhere in here, I got into trade looking for the last one to break this low and then go back up. So I was going to take that trade, and they actually went back. So, okay, I didn't get to get out and I left it. I should have gotten out here, but I just left it. That's not a problem. I didn't think this one was going to go back up without breaking the low first. We knew that it was going to go up. I didn't think they were going to go up before breaking the low. So, well, that happens sometimes. They didn't break the low and they turn up, and that's okay. Sometimes the patterns goes like that. There are patterns like that doesn't have to break the low, but I'm always expecting them to break the low because that makes the simplest pattern that I know. We're here. We went up back. We're here. We're going up back. What is this piece looking like? More like a consolidation, right? So there's a good chance that that is either consolidating to go one more up to this level here, break this top, and then we're going down, right? Or they will drop from this level, come beyond this point, make a bigger correction here, go back up, then come down. I'm still expecting them to make one more up, then come down. So I'm not expecting the downside right now. And that is why I closed 2 trades that were in profit on CAD. So one trade was from, I think from this level that I closed here, and one from the top that I closed there. So those were 2 very small trades, right? If it goes back to the top, there will be another sell setup that will be closing for positive, and then I'll close this trade. If at any point I think this one is going to make a much bigger move up, if I think they will be retesting this top, after they break that and a correction to go there, I will close this trade here for the loss, and I will look for a buy to the top. If I think they're going to do that, if I see structurally in the chart that they are going to do that, but I don't see that structurally in the chart, and that means I'm not going to do that. Let's see the next trade I'm in. Well, I'm in Aussie. Aussie, I had profit. I was in, out of profit, but I'll leave it. I'll show you where the Aussie trade and what the Aussie trade is. So we have this piece in Aussie. And if you remember, we bought Aussie from the low and I closed it at the top. There were 3 trades on the Aussie pair that I took. That was the Aussie New Zealand. Sorry. No. That was a New Zealand one. I'm not the Aussie, the Euro New Zealand 3 pair. So the Aussie pair, we took this trade up. I'll show you why we took that trade. Let's go to the 1 hour. I think there were some Aussie pairs also we took in this trade. I can't remember, but I personally took this one to the upside because we were at this level and we've got a 1, 2, 3. We've got a 1, 2, 3. They broke the low. What's a good buy set up to the top. I closed it somewhere here after it started to consolidate. And I put an entry order at the top there. I had an entry order on top of it when they started to consolidate. So when I closed the trade, I was like, okay, let them make the correction and take off. Well, they actually tagged me that entry order and dropped. And that is okay because this is going to go up again. Like I said, I had a number of chances, like a couple hours, it was still there to close it for break even. And I was like, okay, just leave it. Don't worry. You should never be afraid of the chart, right? I'll explain that more details if you guys ask me the question later why. Right? So you've got this, and this one is just consolidating to go up. Now, is it going to go up exactly from this point? Maybe they will make an attempt to retest the low and then go back. Well, if I see structurally that is possible, I will still stay with the trade to tag the low and go back up, right? No problem. I'll still stay with the trade. Now, can I close the trade here for a smaller loss and then go? Maybe. So there is one possibility for that. We will look at that, but I don't think I'm looking at this right now as a more of a expanding flat for upside. There will be enough time. The chart, let me tell you this if you don't know it. And most of you don't know it. The chart gives you many opportunities to get out for break even when you're wrong. A lot of opportunities. The problem is you decide to take it or not take it. I see them and sometimes I don't take them. A lot of trades I close for break even. You would not know that. 70% of my trades are winning trades if you look at the stats. But out of those 70%, about 20% of them are break even winning trades, which means I close them for positive but not profit. Probably $1,000, $500, $600. For me, that's not profit. That's break even. Right? So you will see a lot of trades like that in my account. But they're break even because I went in a little too early. The market was going to make a bigger correction. I exit. I got in. The market moved up a little, but it didn't move to my target. It pulled back. I take the break even. That happens. Market made 50 pip. I was looking for 400 pip to the upside. It came back, took me out for break even. That's okay. I'm okay with that. That's how I trade. That's my style of trading. That's my strategy of how I trade. It's not the same strategy that my traders use. And that's not the same style they have, right? I just have a different style, and you're going to have a different style of trading. Your style will never be, it will be unique. It will not be the same as me or any of the other traders you know. Right? Your style and your strategy might be unique. Absolutely only to you. It will be based on your knowledge and your experience. And that is unique for everybody. But you know what is not unique for you or for me or for anybody? Analysis. How you analyze the chart is not unique to you. It is how we all have to analyze it. And the reason we all have to analyze it like that is because the chart is not doing something for you and something for me. It's doing the same thing for all of us. So the only thing my entire group has in common is the way we analyze the chart. And then you decide what you want to do with that analysis. Your choice of, okay, there's 20 pips more to finish this move. I can show my traders that, and I said, here's a flag, and there's a 20 pip more drop before it turns. Your choice. You want to take the trade or not? I don't take the trade. They all know that. I don't take a 20, 30 pip trade. But it's a good trade. It's not a bad trade. It's just that I don't take them. That's just my policy. I go for longer term trades, right? I go for much longer term trades, but my traders take it and they make profit. And some of them make much more money. I mean, not money, much more profit than me percentage wise. We have people who have doubled and tripled their account from the start of this year. Not kidding you, because it's posted in the group. And I wouldn't be saying that with about a 50 of my traders in the group right now here, right? Because they'll say, hey, he's lying, right? We have traders like that. They make more percentage-wise. I don't know the volume of their trading. I don't think they're trading a big account as I am. So money-wise, I do still make a lot more. But that's because my account is much more bigger than theirs. That's all. So my style will be different, because the bigger your account, the different your style will be in trading. You can't trade, like most people would trade. So let's go. How much in terms of percentage do you risk per trade? I don't exactly count the percentage. I'm going to come to that question. Let's finish. If you guys hold all the questions, I'll answer. Like we have time, I'll answer all your questions. Even if we have to go on more, I'll answer all your questions, because we have a whole week ahead together to trade. So let's go through this. So the Aussie trade, you see why I'm taking the Aussie trade. It's only 5,000. That's not any kind of money for me. I'm not really worried about a 5,000 drawdown, because I manage my way out easily. All right. So reminder to those of you who are just joining us, next week, this week is a little different. It's more of a Q&A today, because next week, the entire week, you can follow me live, or you can follow me on YouTube, the recordings, and you will see the trades I'm taking. I will go through all the charts for you when there is no trade going on live. We would look at the setups. We would look at what I'm trading, what I'm also not trading. When there is a setup, I'll tell you. So I want all of you to do me a favor, and I'm asking you, yes, to do me a favor. Please share this link, right? So, I mean, if you like what I do, then there are other people out there who might get help and like what I do, right? So people always say, well, why you ask people to share your things? Why are you promoting your courses so much? I don't promote my course so much, but I like to say that. So I'll explain that first, and then we'll go on to all the questions. Why do I do it? Because there's still a couple million people out there who don't know about what I do. And they might find it useful. You find it useful. A lot of you found it useful. A lot of people who took my course found it. And you know what is one of the common things I find people say who took the course? People who have bought 3, 4, 5, 6 different courses before they found me and took the course, and then we trained them to trade. We didn't sell a course to them. We trained them to trade. You know what was their biggest regret? I wish I had found you a year ago. Not because I would have not bought those courses, but because I would have saved my account. I would have saved my account if I had found you a year ago. I wouldn't have lost all that money. There was one guy who was following me here for like 2 years. You don't have to identify yourself, because I'm pretty sure you're watching me right now, right? And he didn't take the course. And about a month ago, he wrote me, he said, I really need your help. I'm about 30-something thousand. I can't remember exactly, but he was a huge lot of money upside down, lost in his account. I still helped him. I still tried to help him and tell him what I would do with each trade and what he should do with each trade. But I'm thinking to myself, here is a guy who's losing $20-something thousand of his account, and he knows of my existence for more than 2 years. And this guy didn't think it was worth investing, $2,500 to buy the course. Not only would he have not lost those money, he probably would have doubled his account in that period of time. So your choice, like I said, it's always your choice. You make the choice. You want to join my traders who are making money? You saw it. I showed you the stats. Or you want to keep looking on? Please be my guest. Look on. Right? Look on. You're the only one losing in that sense. So if you're making money, great. You don't have to take the course. Just keep making money. So that's one. But if you're losing, you need to learn. And that means there's somewhere you can go to get it to learn. Right? Yeah, the choice is what, we become the choice we make. My traders make a choice to become good traders. They will become good traders. You make a choice to be a good trader, you will be a good trader. You make a choice to go and troll people, you will become a good troll. You make a choice to devote your life to criticizing somebody, you will become good at criticizing them, and they will become a better person. That's all. That's all the difference it will make, right? You become what you choose to do. It's that simple. A doctor is a good doctor because he chooses to become a doctor and he chose to learn more about it. So you become what you choose to do. Don't follow people who are doing crazy stuff if you don't want to become crazy like them. That's the basic. Let's go back to the question. So the account is finished. You see, you should ask everybody you follow anywhere, hey, this is what I want you to do, right? This is the kind of thing I want you to do. I want you to learn this stuff, right? I want you to show me your account. If you're claiming you're a trader, show me your account. If you can't, well then goodbye. So let's put the account aside now. We're finished with it. You will get to see it whole of next week. You will see what I do with it. Let's go direct to the questions now. Let's see. I'll go scroll back. Everybody wait, I'm scrolling back so I can go to the questions. Okay, there's a lot of nice comments. Thank you for all those, but there's so much. I have to go back really far. Starting, please put the questions to all panel. Okay, that's somebody asking you to put the questions. Which pattern you like the most? Which is the most profitable? Any pattern. It doesn't matter which one. Most people trade flags, but it's the simplest of them. But any pattern I can trade. How big would you suggest your account size needs to be to start trading? There is no specific rule for that. It depends on how much money you want to make. Calculate that if you become a good trader, you can make like an average 5% a month. You saw the stats I showed you from my traders. Most of them are making about 5% a month. So if you become good at it, you can make. So calculate how much money do you want a month to live or to do whatever you're going to do with the money, right? And then you make sure your account is that size. Because people who have small account, one of the biggest mistakes they make is they overtrade. They want to make a lot of money from a very small amount of money. And that is not possible. You end up losing the account. How do you help people who don't trade currencies and commodities? Oh, what we teach, good question, by the way. What we teach you to do is not to trade any specific instrument. We don't teach that. We don't train you to do that. We train you to read the charts. It's called chart analysis, wave analysis. We train you to read the charts, and you can read any charts. And once you can read any charts, you can trade any one of them because it's the same basis of what you'll be looking for in the charts. Wave theory is the same for currency. It's the same for everybody. Okay, I also took the Bank in Euro too. Let me see. That is people who are saying they took the same trade. Wave theory is same for currency. Okay, you got your answers a lot. I didn't read it. Sorry. Why do you use Saxo? No, I don't use Saxo. That is where my investor chose to put his money, in Saxo. I think one of the reasons for that is because of the safety of the broker in terms of capitalization, not for any other thing. I don't think, and of late I'm getting to not like what they're not accepting my trades. Like they're refusing to, especially that my account is positive and they're not clicking my trades. I don't like that. I will have to talk to them about that because I really don't like that. But that might have changed because my account was retail. You know these new laws they had in Europe. The account was put as a retail account for some reason. And because of that, they weren't giving us enough leverage and margin to trade with. But we changed that. Immediately once I started getting this problem, I called investors and said, tell them to put the account to professional account. We have all the criteria you need for that. And he called them, he told them they changed it on Friday. So on Friday, they've changed it. So it's now a professional account. And you can realize I have much more free margin now. So I think because of the retail account, they actually were doing that. So it's not like their fault. Those are the laws of Europe they were following, I think. I speak with you in my videos. Okay, thank you. I want to thank all of you guys here are good guys, except for the two trolls in here, right? All the rest of you are really good guys. And I know you like what I do. That is why you're here. But there are millions of people out there who still haven't seen this stuff. Right? You need to get it to them because they might have seen. By the way, talking about a guy who is doing all this bad stuff, I'll tell you a funny thing. One person wrote me in my Facebook page and said, hey, I saw this guy posting all these bad things about you, and I've just actually seen your video. I never seen your video before I saw him, and I actually clicked your name once I saw that. He was out of curiosity, he clicked my name, and he got into my YouTube videos, and he said, I watched one video, I watched a second video, and I got hooked in it. And he said, I'm a trader for like 3 years experience, and I really want to find out about your course now, right? This guy saw that bad thing and decided he's going to take my course. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, it's good. It didn't turn out to be all that bad. He saw something bad and he decided he came to my YouTube video. He liked what I do. He didn't care a hell about that guy anymore. That guy gave me some ad. That's all. He sent somebody to he trafficked somebody onto my YouTube page who wasn't there, right? And I think all smart people will do that. Here's the thing. I want smart people in my group. So if you can't look at what that guy wrote and then go and check and see what I do and then decide if you want the course, you should not be in my course. You should not be in my group. You're not smart enough to be in the group. If you just look at what he wrote and you decide, hey, that's enough, I'm not going next, great, don't do that. I don't even want you. You're not smart enough to be in the group because you're not this independent thinker. You have to be an independent thinker. You have to think for yourself. That's the only way you become successful as a wave analysis. You have to be an independent thinker, right? I will have to skip some of the very nice comments. Sorry, guys, I'm not reading your comment. They're very nice, I know. Let's go through what else. So let him do what he's just wasting his time. Let him continue to do. The more he does it, the more people see that, the more people who are smart will come to me. I saw a video where someone claiming that you bought your course, claiming. So, yeah, that is the same guy. He didn't. Don't worry with him. He might have been. Here's the thing. He might have been one of the people I kicked out from the group, because I did kick out a number of people from the group for different reasons, for stealing things and trying to sell them as signals and all of that, and a few for bad behavior. So that's okay. You know, let him do what he's doing. I've been asking for one, but I just want your opinion on monthly charts. Thanks. We can do them if you join me during the week and we have time. We could look at some of them. Let's see. There was a lot of more very good comments. Very good comments. I'll skip the good ones. Let me see which one of question. Thank you for them. That's a little expanded. Why don't you trade with the stop loss so that your capital is free for the next investment opportunity? Because I have enough capital to trade. One, I didn't think Saxo was going to do that. And the second thing, I don't trade with stop loss because of what I'm training myself to do. Good question, by the way, why I'm training myself to do in the future, right? So here's the thing. When I was trading a $10,000 or a $100,000 account, I trade with stop losses. Now I don't trade with stop losses because I want to be a fund manager sometime in the future. So what I'm doing with these accounts is practicing. These are practice accounts for me, for how I will be trading in the future. And that is why my trading style will be different from yours. And it's different from all my traders. And how I looked at the charts on a daily basis for my traders is not how I trade. It's different. I tell them where they should put the stop. I explain to them why they need to put the stop. And they know that I don't trade with stop. So I don't keep secrets from people. I'm telling you why. I'm training myself for something different, right? So I have to train differently. So I can't go to somebody I'm asking for a couple $1 million and say, hey, I buy here in the 15 minutes and I put the 30 pip stop. And he's like, why? Like, okay, I'm buying silver because I think silver is going to 27, but I'm putting a 15 pip stop under it. And he's like, why? Why are you putting a stop if you think it's going to go to 20 something? Right? You have enough money, just go buy more silver, right? Why are you putting a stop? It's a whole different story. Let's not even go down the train there. I think you get the message, right? How much in terms of percentage do you risk per trade? Oh, good question. I don't risk percentage-wise because I am actually trying to get my psychology up into the amount I can trade volume-wise. Same thing, come back to what I'm training myself to do. So I started the account with 5 standard lots, then 10 standard lots, then 15 standard lots. And if you look at the account now, you just saw it. A lot of them are 20 standard lots and more. 15, 20. Like if you look at the old trades, they're 15 standard lots. Let me just show you that. If you look at the very old, oh, sorry, it went away. I'm going to put it here. So if you look at the old trades, they were like 15 standard lots. If you look at the trades before that, those are 5 and 10 standard lots. If you look at the trades that I took lately, like the last 2 trades I took, they're both 20 standard lots. So as soon as the account grows some more, you will find me doing like 30, 40, 50 standard lots because I need to train myself psychologically to be able to handle volumes of money. Right? Not so much percentage wise, but I can manage that. The whole thing is that I know what I'm doing in terms of structure and which one I need to cut, which one I need to stay with, which one I need to get bail out and take the loss, right? I do that very often, but like I said, if your account is growing, forget about anything else. Just keep growing it. When a pair has ticked down for a long time, like Aussie, New Zealand, what are you looking for a sign to go up? The pattern. I'm looking at a weekly pattern that says, okay, this thing needs to go up now. And that's why we put the entry order there, because we understand patterns and we understand from where they can start to reverse. It's not a big secret. I keep saying it will break the low and then turn. I think that's exactly what it did. Which broker do you use for a personal account? I don't have a personal account. I will have my money invested when I do open my company and the fund management company and all that. I will be one of the first investors in there. But a personal account, no, I'm trading enough big accounts for people. But I would be one of the investors in my own person. I'm working on that, so don't worry. It's not like I don't trade my own money. If I open a $200,000 account of my money to trade, that would not It's not going to affect what I want, right? Money-wise is not the big. I think people get, this is where, good question. So let me answer. This is where a lot of people out there don't understand why I'm different from most people who are selling courses or selling signals or something. I keep saying there are a lot of scammers out there. Those guys don't use those words. And actually, a few of them have wrote me and said, well, you can't do that. You're doing the same thing like us. You're selling a course. I said, no, I'm not selling courses. I'm training traders who are not successful and really want to become successful. I'm training them to trade. That's different from what you're doing. I don't have a structured way, oh, buy this basic course, buy advanced course, buy the gold course, buy the platinum course. I don't have that BS. I train you to trade. I just explained to you that I took all the people who are not successful for last month and said, come, let me retrain you. Let me make sure I get you successful. And the plan I have with those people is that by the end, I told them already, by the end of the year, they all have to double their account by the end of this year. That's my plan with them. I'm working up close and personal with them. They didn't pay me for that. They took the course already. They don't have to pay me to become successful. You took my course. I want to make you successful. It's my job as a trainer to make sure you're the best person. So you're not making money? Come again, let me teach you. Let me get you back to that level. That's my point. I have to get you to that level where you're successful. That's what you paid me for. You can't pay me for the course and my time. I'm in the room every single day for an hour. Take 1 year, 300 and how much? Let's say 300 days per year. Every day I'm in the room for at least 1 hour. That's a must. Sometimes I'm in for 2 hours. Sometimes I'm in for 3 hours. Depends on how much news events are there, right? So let's take 1 hour, 300 hours every year you get from me. And you're paying me $2,500 for the course. Forget about the course. Look at my time. And then I'm training you for the 6 weeks. I'm like the cheapest person in the world. Nobody will work for so much hours for that kind of money for you. You wouldn't even get somebody to clean your car if you're going to pay them that amount of money per hour. You can't pay for my course. Let me make this very clear to you. None of you out there can really pay for the course unless you're a millionaire. You can't pay for this course. It's worth much, 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 much more than you can afford to pay. That's not the purpose of the 2005. The 2005 is a filter for most of you. Because one guy has been writing me, and if you're in here, remember, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your situation. Because a lot of people have the same situation. It's not you personally. It's your situation you're in. He doesn't have capital. He doesn't have money. He has about, I don't know, $500 to $1,000. And he has a dream of becoming the best trader in the world. I totally like that. I respect that dream. I have a dream of one day driving a Ferrari with some star girl next to me. I hope my wife is not listening to this. But that's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen, right? I hope my wife is not listening to this. But that's never going to happen. I'm not going to be driving a Ferrari at 50-something years and having some young girl next to me. That's not me. It's not going to happen. So you have to be realistic of what you can do with what you have, right? I'm not seeing the comments you guys are making now because I'm on the top comments, but I can see there are 16 messages I haven't read, right? So I hope none of you are planning to go give this webinar to my wife. So basically, that's never going to happen. You have to be, so I'm convincing this guy that, hey, you're not ready to be a professional trader simply because you don't have the basic stuff. You don't have the capital needed to do it. I'm not even talking about the knowledge. And he's really convinced me that if I train him, it's going to work. You're asking me to waste my time over you. And I don't know whether you will ever be successful. I don't know your ability to run. And you don't even have the basic stuff that is needed to be a trader. You don't have capital. You can dream of becoming anything, but you have to have some basic stuff. I would like to own a restaurant, but I don't have money to go do that. I would like to own, I don't know what, one of these buildings in Dubai. I would like to own the Burj Khalifa, but hey, sorry, I don't have the money to own it. I can't go tell those guys, why don't you just give me and wait for a year, see how much money I can make. It doesn't work that way. Life is realistic. It doesn't work that way. We've got to stop dreaming so much. So the filter is for people who cannot afford, who are going to be wasting my time. My time has value, right? My time has value. So I can't just take everybody and put them in there and, I have a question. Last week you predicted Bitcoin. We will come to your prediction of Bitcoin. Remind me, please. I'm not running away from your question. I just want to finish all the small questions that come back because that one is very important. With Baker running flat. We'll come back to that question. Can you please keep it and repost it? I'll tell you when to repost it. Or as soon as I'm finished with all these questions. Can everybody hold your questions now? So I will come to that one. I really want to talk about Bitcoin. How do you deal with interest and margin? They're very low. The interest in the margin is very low. I know it adds up, but not that much. Because if you're long-term in the trade, you still make much more money than that. So if your broker is taking too much interest and too much thing for you, the margin, like I said, they stop me in the margin, they're not giving, but that is not affecting my account. My account is a profit, right? So I think this is important. You should not, if you're going to do what I do, like I'm doing, my account in all the drawdowns have never gone below 500. It's never gone beyond the initial capital. It has always been above the capital. And this is growing constantly. So let me show you that stat so you guys would understand what I'm saying. So let's go to stats. Good. I want you to look at two stats. Pay attention to two very important stats. Let's start with the very first one, that is returns and cash. This is my cash flow in my account. If you notice the cash flow from 500 to here, it is an uptrend. So my account is growing consistently, it's growing. You don't see this having a dip. What you see having a dip is this one, that is account value. And these are drawdowns. This was a drawdown, this was a drawdown, this was a drawdown, this was a drawdown, this was these are 3 drawdowns within 1 month. At all times here, I had chance to close those trades for positive, but I didn't because I'm looking not only for this, I'm looking for this, right? So drawdown does not affect me. As long as these drawdowns, none of them went below 500, right? You see that? None of them went below 500. This is my 500. None of them went below 500. As long as they're not going below 500, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. As long as this is going in an uptrend, I'm okay with that too. So cash-wise, my account is growing. Drawdowns, I handle them, and I handle them very safe. So you can see profit I made so far. You can see that, right? They will show you. I think this is only for this year, from year to date. And if you put it all time, you will see a whole different picture. You can go custom and you can put it for the whole time the account was on. So let's put this, the account was on from November. So let's put it, I'll put it to the first, I go back, 1st of November, for example. It started on the 15th of November. You would see this is where you put the first 200,000 and this is where the 500. So this is where the account started from this point. You see the drawdowns, but it's never went back to 500. And then look at this. Constantly going upwards, right? So I hope by this week we can get to 750. I hope this week together, all of us can get to 750, right? Profit, it's making profit, it's making a ton of profit, right? Profit and loss, 198,000 profit. So I'm okay. And if you can do this in your account, that's the main thing. Those are the main things you need to look at your account, right? So you don't go into that situation. Let's go back. I hope that answers your question. So I found this channel course in TradingView chat that someone mentioned how they miss my days. I know. Even my traders say that sometimes, that they wish I could just post the charts and give them that. Let's hope I can find a place where I can do that. Somewhere that I can use a new charting package, because anywhere I post with TradingView charts, the charts does not show up, but TradingView logo and up and everything. I don't mind showing TradingView app, but sometimes it's just TradingView show up and you have to click in it. And when TradingView alone show up and you click on it, only then you know it's a chart. Most people will not click in it because they don't know what it is. Eventually, I think sometime in the future, we'll find a good charting package. Don't worry. What is your goal? What is your goal based on your capital per month? I am not talking about your students. I personally don't have a goal base, but I have a goal, the end goal, double the account in a year. So by November this year, the account should be doubled. That's my goal. Double it by November this year. Let's hope I can do it. Right? Let's hope I can do it. You'll all be here. You'll see. That's my goal. What is your goal? So I just answered your question. You double posted. Do you trade with accordance to news or patterns? Only patterns. News has nothing to do with it. Right? So I think all these funny parts were when I was talking about my ride, right? So now you guys can post. Let's go. Could you please check XAU? We will look at those. You can if you want to look at chart at the end of this webinar or during the week, you can bring any chart. I'll look at them with you. What agreement do you have with your investor in terms of percentage sharing? You mean in terms of how much I get? I'm not sure I should tell you that, but basically we're not keen. Even the investor who I have right now, both of them that I have right now, two very big investors, we're not keen on sharing any money sharing. Like I said, the money is the least part I'm interested in. We're keen in doing something bigger, right? Both of these guys have much, much more money than this. This for them is a training account. So it means if we can successfully do what we want to do with this, then we set up a company, and then both of these guys will be pumping much more money like that in there, as well as they will bring investors, more investors. We need about a year or two to do that. And once we get that record, we can actually start doing it. So that's the goal. It's not how much money we can make. More like, yeah, more. It might not be a hedge fund. It could be a fund management company, but something very close to that. Hedge fund, you might, I don't know what's the limit capital to do any one of those, or what is the advantage of a hedge fund or a fund management account. We will see. We'll work on that. Whichever is the best in terms of where we are located and where you can register an advantage of them, we will open one of the two. And I'm hoping that it can happen this year, at least the end of this year or early next year, because that is where we are heading for. That's the plan. Right? So, and if that happens, I will most likely not be training anybody after that, because I will have very little time to do that. Right? So you have a chance to get your training from me directly now. After now, you might get a training from one of my students. I will probably recommend 5, 6, 7 of my best students, maybe 10 of my best students who can actually do the course with good quality to you. And that might happen. But if you want to be directly with me, you have your chance still, right? That's a chance. I'm going up and not down in my career, right? I'm not coming from a hedge fund to teach you for $2,000. I'm teaching you for $2,000. Go up into a hedge fund. I want to get bigger and better as I grow. Not, I always watch this as suspicion of these. Hey, I was working for this hedge fund and now I like to teach you how to teach retail trade. Well, if you were working for a hedge fund first thing, you probably don't know anything about retail trading, because you were working for a hedge fund. Damn, they trade differently from the way retail traders trade. But if you're a retail trader, you're growing into a hedge fund, that's okay. You're growing into that. And that's why your style of trading and everything will change. And that is why I'm not doing what my traders do in terms of my style of trading. That's already changing slowly, because I've had a look into hedge fund. There is a guy here who has given me a look into hedge fund and how it works, the platform and how they work and how they do and what they do. Even what we trade and how we trade will change. He might be one of my partners in the hedge fund in the future, right? So he actually showed me how it works inside, the inside work of it. It's different from what we do as retail traders. So if you're coming from there to teach us this, it's not going to work. But if you're a very good trader and you could get into hedge fund, that's most likely. Most of you may go work for some big hedge fund or something in the future, which is possible. If you reach your goal, will you still be doing webinars and keep? If I have the time, I might keep the group. I will keep that group because it's free to stay there. And I would like to, I still like the guys in the group. I might be with them at least once a month and, give my advice to them once a month and see what I can do. For free webinars, I'm not sure whether I'll have the time for it. I'll try, but I can't promise you I do it, right? I'll be honest with you. If I'm too busy about doing what I'm doing, I might not just be able to do this, right? There's no promise in that one. But if I can do it, I will have some of my traders do it. People I trust there's a lot of traders in my group who can do it, right? The guys who are helping me with the training, they're pretty much they're at that stage already where they can do it. But let's not go so far. The year has to come and I have to do all that stuff. Let's deal with what we're going to do this week. Next week, that is making trading live for you guys, so you can get a look into what I do, right? Let's go. More questions. Any questions? Just be free. You can see I'm trying to. Let's get the question on the how can you control your emotions and fear when you trade against you? Good question. Let's start with that, and then we'll do the question of Bitcoin, right? How do I control my emotions and fear when I trade? So let's talk about emotions and fear. My traders have learned this. Let's talk about emotional trades. Every one of you out there have heard that, right? You need to control your emotions and you need to be careful when you're trading. You need to be, I looked at one interview, the guy said, if I'm not in my A, how did he say it? My A something, if that day, then I wouldn't be trading that day. And another guru out there said, well, I like to meditate to control my emotions to be in it. And another guy, I heard so much BS about it. And there are people who are taking courses on psychology of trading and so much BS about it. Guys, it's simpler than that. It's much simpler than that. Do you know what creates fear in you? The unknown. The unknown of anything creates fears in you. It's not about trading. Let's talk about fear. Not knowing something is what creates fears. When you see a tiger coming at you, you run because you don't know what to expect. If somebody is trained to handle tigers, saw a tiger coming at him, he doesn't run. He knows what to do, what to expect, and how to manage himself properly. Running might be the last thing he would ever do. If you jump into the middle of if you fall into the middle of a river and you don't know to swim, you're likely going to die. You will die not because you're drowning easy, because you panic. Panic is what is going to make you drown if you jump. Most times you can float yourself in a river. Most people know that who can swim. You can literally just lie flat on top of that water and you will float. Try it next time you're in the beach. Just lie flat, heads up, and float. You'll watch the water take you floating. Panic is what makes most people drown. You panic, you drown. If you're a professional swimmer, you will likely save yourself by swimming to the other bank of the river. It's the unknown that scared you. You don't know what it's going to do, and that scared the hell out of you. You panic, you close your trades, you do all kind of messy stuff because you don't know. Remember what we teach you. We teach you to understand structure, to know what the chart is likely going to do, when it's going to go against you, when it's going to go in your direction, and when it goes against you, what are the chances it's going to run away like a whole mile and don't come back? That is rare. That never happens. Never, never, ever happens in a chart. People will tell you whatever they want. The chart makes pullback. The chart moves in waves. A move up, a move down, a move up, a move down, a move up, a move down. So what do you have to do? You have to know when you're in a move is going against you, when it's coming back your way. When it comes back your way, is it going to make another one up or is it going to make another one down? And this is where you make your decision. So let's say you have a sell here, and it turns and it goes against you. I have one like that, Punkad, for example. I didn't sell it there. I sold it in the middle here, right? Punkad is there, and now it's doing this here. Do you see me panic? That trade is on for more than 4 weeks. Anyone here seeing me panic about it? No? I'm still trading and I'm still making money. Zero panic. You know why? I know. I have knowledge of what it could do and when it's going to do it. And that knowledge of what it could do and when it's going to do it is what takes away the fear. And that is why I can trade without stops and don't panic. Non-farm payroll was on Friday. Any one of you heard of non-farm payroll? And people were panicking. Oh my God, where's non-farm payroll? You have to be careful. You can't have an open trade during non-farm payroll. Blah, 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 blah. You know who say this stuff? People who don't know. They're pretty much like you. When they fall in the middle of the river, they panic. They're not a swimmer. They can't swim. But they pretend to be swimmers. They tell you they're the #1 swimmer. They train you to swim if you want them to. And when they fall in the river, they panic like you. Because they can't. They don't know. They don't understand. Now, people will go and say, hey, he's criticizing everybody again. No, I'm just telling you how you can get rid of your fear. No psychologist can't help you get rid of fear because the minute you see the same trigger, you will fear again. He can deal with you how to relax. Go breathe. Go do this. Go do that. All of that will stop the panic at the moment. But the minute you get into another trade and you got the same situation, you're going to panic again. Unless you train yourself to handle tigers, when you run away from one tiger, somebody's going to tell you, okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Yeah, let's give you some injections so you can cool down. You're going to be okay. You managed to run away this time. The next time you see a tiger, guess what you're going to do again? You're going to run to hell again because you haven't been trained to deal with them. They just managed to take away your panic for once. So the panic is not a problem. Your problem is you don't know how to handle yourself when you see a tiger. If you train yourself to do that, then you don't have to run the next time. I hope you're getting my metaphor. I hope you're getting my comparison very well, right? I'm trying to bring it over to you as simple as I can. It's not about the fear in the market because it's not knowing. It's the ignorance of trading that makes you fear the market. The market is not out there to get you. I think most of you may have heard of stop hunting. Anyone here hasn't heard of the word stop hunting? If you haven't, type a Y. Not a single Y, right? Well, 2 persons, I don't know why you're in the room because you're not supposed to be a trader if you haven't heard of it, right? Every single trader heard of that. And it's nonsense, it's BS. It's telling you that the market is coming to get your stuff. How crazy can that be? Let me tell you why that is the craziest thing you will ever hear. Do you know what it costs to move the market? Do you know what it will take any bank, any person, any hedge fund, any government to move the market 10 pips, 100 pips? You know what volume of money you're talking about to do that? Oh, so they're going to put $1 billion so that they can take away your stop for 10 pips on a 1 micro or a 1 mini or a 1 standard. They're going to move the market against you. And what if while they're moving the market against you, there are 10 other guys buying volume that is 100 times more than yours in the opposite direction? So when you took a sell and you put a stop, somebody took a buy bigger than yours. They're going to move the market to get your stop. The market still goes and take your stop out, right? And you want, oh, they're hunting my stop. Well, did you ever thought about what if somebody was buying there and they tried to hunt your stop? How much do they have to pay those people? It's just crazy, right? The market does not move because of what your trades are on. As a matter of fact, most of you are not actually buying and selling currencies. You're just speculating, and you probably don't know that. You have zero effect on the market. Your trade is just a speculation that the broker keeps. He doesn't go and buy the money for you in reality. In reality, most brokers have to hedge their risk. They don't have to put your trade over to the bank. They hedge their risk. Most brokers do that. And most of them just don't hedge their risk because there isn't a risk. You're the one who's going to lose your account, not they. They're supposed to hedge the balance of the risk so that they don't lose their account and that they don't lose your money. But basically, hey, they don't do that because you end up losing your money. Most of you. So they don't have to hedge anything. They just leave it where it is. Eventually, you're going to lose it because you think the market is hunting your stop. It doesn't. It never will. The crazy thing is you're putting your stop exactly where the market is about to make a move. Exactly where the market is about to go is where you put your stop. And then you believe they're hunting your stop. Next time you hear one of those gurus talk about stop hunting, tell him to go learn something or to come take my course. Because there's nothing like stop hunting in the market. The market moves towards where big orders are, really huge orders. And many other factors what moves the market, but stop hunting is definitely not one of them. That's the craziest thing you heard out there, right? It's the same thing like fear, right? They have people training you. Oh, these guys train you the psychology of the market, how to deal with it. No, they can't. You still wouldn't become a good trader if they train you how to deal with your fear. They're not training you how to trade. And that is what you should learn, because if you learn how to trade, then you can deal with your fear, right? It's the opposite, right? What about low volumes cryptocurrencies? You don't believe they could be whales who push price for liquidity? You're talking about something else. You're talking about a manipulation in the market. Of course, all markets are manipulated. Of course, all markets are manipulated, but they're not manipulated for the purpose you think they are, to get your stops. They're manipulated to make huge volumes of money transfer from one set of dummies to another set of smart people. And I've been saying that all the time. Remember what was the main question I was asking everybody about on Bitcoin? Anybody remember the question I was asking? Let me see how many of you were listening to me. There was one question I was asking everybody who was telling me Bitcoin is the future. Is the future of currency. Currency is a fiat, and Bitcoin is going to be the future of everything. Where is the money? Adam got it. Where is the freaking money that you're paying them for the Bitcoin? Where is it? That's what I was asking everybody. Because if you ask yourself that question, you will realize where money is going. Bitcoin is an instrument to transfer money from dummies to smart people, right? They let you think it's the future, you buy into the future, and then you got screwed. How many people bought Bitcoin at 19,000, 18,000, 20,000? Even at 16,000, even at 15,000, even at 14,000. You can imagine the volume of money those guys took away. And then, just like that, they just switch it off on you. And all the money is in their pocket. Right? That if everybody had asked themselves that same question I was asking them, where is the money going? Can you tell me, please, who is giving us the future Bitcoin and taking our useless dollar, and where are they putting it? If you know the answer to that question, you will know markets are manipulated. All markets are manipulated. That's part of the market. That's part of how it works. And the more the instrument is useless, the higher it's manipulated. The more something is useless, which means it has no backing by anything, it's not regulated in any way. People say, oh, Bitcoin is not regulated. Yes, that's exactly what those people want it to be, not to be regulated. So it's easier to get all the dummies. It's easier to get them. They think it's not regulated, not government regulated. So, hey, I want to be in that. I don't like government to regulate things. Well, they just took away all your dumb money from you because you're too stupid to understand that. That is what they want. Those instruments were created for that purpose. They were not created to build any future. There could be no future of any cryptocurrencies unless governments agree to use it. Unless all the governments or some of the major governments agree to use it, it's going to be a useless instrument. Because unless they agree to use it, it has no value. It has to be agreed by the government. That's how this world runs. Because if they outlaw it tomorrow, if they ban it tomorrow, goodbye. You can kiss it goodbye. You can't use it in that country. And they can do that by law. So unless they agreed to do it, unless they said, okay, good, this is going to be official or something. By law, you can use Bitcoin to buy this. The government is going to support that. Unless and until that happens, it's a useless instrument to take away your money. And a lot of people say, oh, well, this big company hedge fund went into it. Yeah, because they saw an opportunity. Somebody said Goldman Sachs is now going into Bitcoin. Of course, because they're thinking, what a fool we are. We didn't get in the first time. We missed a couple billion there. Let's get in now and take a couple billion because it's cheap now. We can start getting people to believe this is going to be the future. And maybe the next couple $100 billion goes to us. That is so simple. It's not difficult. It's just common sense. If you don't understand that, well, then I don't know how else to explain to you. The mere fact that you could pay with it in some shops or in the darknet or anywhere you can use it depends what you're buying in the darknet, by the way. Although of late people said even a lot of these official companies are going into the darknet, Facebook or somebody. I'm not sure this is, I don't want to be accused of it, but I think someone somewhere said, I heard, that's hearsay, that even Facebook is opening some kind of thing in the darknet. So people are, they're going to make that the official sooner or later. I don't know how much that is true or not. I have very little idea of that. I have very little knowledge of it too. So it doesn't matter that you can use it. These are minor factors of what you can do. You can go buy coffee with cryptocurrency. So now it's official. You can buy coffee with it. Okay, great. You can buy coffee with it. So what's the big deal? You can buy coffee. A few shops are accepting it. So that does not make it official. It simply doesn't make it official. If you understand it, you understand it. So let's go to Bitcoin. Somebody was asking a question, not on the use of Bitcoin, but basically the movement of Bitcoin, right? Can you repose the question so I get it clearly? Blockchain could be a future. Blockchain is a technology. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Blockchain is, that could be used, and there not only could be, it's already being used in many different spheres, and a lot of companies, a lot of governments are using it. Right? As a technology, it's the future, of course. Any technology is the future. It's not. No, I want the Bitcoin question. The person asked it. Can you please repose the Bitcoin question so I can deal with it? I think the movement of Bitcoin that happened is what freaked out everybody. So let me just go to that and I'll talk about that. Right? Let's go. Where's my Bitcoin, by the way? Oh, here is it. Let's go. Last week we did Bitcoin to break down and said it would make a running flat if we were breaking the top, but instead it pumped really hard and running out of the good. So good. You're saying we were forecasting to go down last week. So let me show you what we were forecasting and why we were forecasting it. And I still think there is going to be a pullback on it. So we were looking at this pattern here. You got an impulse, you got this pattern. And then when that happens, for me, you have to make an impulse out of the structure. And they didn't do that. They made an impulse and they started to correct. So we've got a very sharp move down here. For me, that's an impulse to the downside. So with this pattern looking like a correction, we were looking for one more down here, and if possible, breaking the low, and then go up, right? So it's either going to break this low or break. So we had a buy here. This was a very, very short-term buy, as you can see. I would say buy this only to come to this stop. So like there and then probably down, or probably even breaking this top, make a running flat, and then go down. Well, now they broke the top. So what happens? Very good question. We looked at it and I said, so far, I haven't seen anything matching this. So that means somewhere in here, we're going to see a pullback. And we're going to see a deep pullback. Maybe, just maybe, I would look at that as a running flat here. Look at that as a bigger running flat. This would be rare because I've never seen a running flat like that. So I've basically never seen whatever structure this thing is going to make. I have never seen it. And my knowledge is based on structures that I've seen in the past. Now, could there be new structures? Are there new structures? Absolutely. And we are always looking for possibilities for new structures. As a matter of fact, we have identified patterns, new patterns. We have identified 3 new patterns so far. That hasn't been identified by anyone, anywhere. If you see somebody showing them, some of you have known some of those patterns we showed you. If anybody's showing you those patterns anywhere, they likely got it from me. They got it from our group. There's absolutely nothing about it. One of them is the extended running flat. One of them is the AB squeeze. And another one we call like fool me flat. But that's a different one. We'll come to it. So we have identified 3. Now, is there a possibility that there will be a pattern here that we would not know? Possible. So here is the thing, and I told this to all my traders. This is what we do here. So this might be important to everybody, and I really would like if you could share this video as much as possible, because the questions answered are good, and this is very important. So what we do, what is wave analysis? Let me give you in a few words what wave analysis is. You take the chart for a certain period of time, let's say for 5 years, 10 years, if possible more. You go to the time frames you want. If it's a 1 hour and 4 hour, you go to a 1 year chart, and you identify all the possible patterns. All the possible patterns you see there. What do I mean by a pattern? A pattern is something that repeats itself over and over and over and behaves the same way most of the time. So if you identified a set of patterns, like Elliot did, he identified a set of patterns for us. I looked at the one Elliot identified. We can identify some of the ones he identified. We are not using some of the patterns that they have, but we've identified some separate new patterns for ourselves. And we have seen that those patterns we have identified, 90% of the time, they behave exactly the same way. So you see an impulse, you see a flag, a correction, and you see it goes there. 90% of the time, you would see exactly the same structure in the charts. Now, few times you will not see it behave that. You might see it just make like this and drop to the bottom, right? And those are a few times. These are, we ignore those type of patterns because those are patterns we don't know how consistent they are, and they're not tradable. If it's only 10%, then just let it go. Don't worry about it. You want patterns that repeat themselves more than 50%, more than 80% of the time, because the higher the probability becomes for your trade. So let's say you have 6. Now that you know how we do and what we do, let's say you went and you analyzed 10 charts. You identified 10 patterns in those 10 charts, but only 5 of the patterns behave, 5% of 5 patterns, not percent. 5 of those patterns behave exactly the way you thought they're going to behave. Exactly the way you thought they're going to behave. Then, based on our strategy, you should be in those 5 trades. Whether you win those trades or lose it, you should be in those 5 trades. The other 5 that didn't do what you want them to do, you should not be in those trades. So if you were looking for a buy, but it didn't go buy, it gives a sell, you're not in the buy. If you're looking for a sell, it didn't go sell, it gives a buy, you're not in the buy. So 5 of them you're not in because simply they didn't do what you want. They didn't behave the way you want. You're probably wrong about the analysis. You probably didn't recognize the pattern. Whatever it is, you didn't. But what about the 5 that went? Those are your trades. That is where you make money. Trading the 5 that went your way. You should take those trades. And even if 4 out of those 5s go your way, just 4 out of 5 goes your way. They behave exactly. They give you the profit you want. 1 of them didn't give you that much profit. It came back, took you out for a loss. 4 out of 5 go your way. You're building your account like crazy. And that is what you should do. That's what wave analysis teaches us. That's what we teach in our wave analysis. We teach you how to identify the patterns, wait until they do what you expect them to do, and then get in the trade and then take the profit. So let's go back to the cryptocurrencies I want to talk about. If you were looking at me, I said Bitcoin likely going to go down. I still think we will get a pullback here, but we might get a pullback mostly looking like this. And then go. This would be a pattern that I know. If Bitcoin does this, that is a pattern I know. 1, 2, 3. Right? And if it does that, I would look for a buy setup here. And if I get that buy setup, I will take this profit. See? Let's go now to the other ones. Let's go to this one. This one we told you, it's going, you got to buy from this point, yellow. You got to buy from this point to this point, at least to this point. If you took that trade, you did much better than you expect to do, which is good. You would have got out somewhere here. So you made much more money in that one if you took it. But it didn't do that, but it went higher. So do we know that? Same thing, come back here and then go. This is a pattern we know. The possibility of this going up there, that's known. That's a known factor. You're not expecting it to happen, but that's a known pattern. They can break out there. So this is a pattern we know. This is not behaving, very crazy. This is okay. This should come back here and go. And if it does that, we will be in the trade if we're trading that instrument. This is another one. This one was expected because you had this pattern here. and you're expecting them to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one we are still expecting this to go down. Would it go down? I don't know. They could probably break out. But if they go down, you should be in this sell if you want to sell it. But guess what? There was one pattern that says buy. There was one of them that was telling us it is a buy and it is a bullish and you should be buying it. So let's say you were trading cryptocurrencies and you had 4 to choose from. You had a sell in the Bitcoin, you had a sell in the Ethereum, you had a sell in that one, and none of those sell go, but you had a buy here. Would you have made profit? Would your account grow? You follow this, right? You would not be in 3 trades because you missed them. But hey, you're in 1 trade and that grows your account. So are you making money? Great, you're making money. And you continue to do this on a daily basis, all the time, every day. Now, some trades you're going to still lose. Like I said, this one could have probably done this and then drop and take you out here for a loss. But those are going to be rare because when they do go, they go your direction. You make money. You can see it from my account. I'm not getting all the trades. I'm getting some trades upside down too. But am I making money? Is my account growing every week? Every single week it's growing. I think there was only 2 weeks that my account did not grow. It didn't get higher than where it was the previous week. 1 week it was exactly the same place, a plus minus 1,000, and 1 week it went down 15 or 20,000. Those were the 2 weeks. In the entire period of the time, those were the 2 weeks. When the account where I'm trading, the money I'm booking, it was less. But every week you can see it's growing. You're here, you're watching it, you're understanding what we do. Now, this is a system of trading. This is a system. You understand this. It's based on knowledge. It's not some guesswork, like just wait for this. And then as one guy said, we look at it and then we wait. And then if you're not in the right mood, you don't trade it. What all this crap has got to do with trading? You being in the right mood. If you're not in the right mood, you shouldn't be doing anything, not only trading. You just need to get yourself in a good mood every single day. That's what you're living for. Your life is bad if you're not in the right mood. So trading is the least thing you want to worry about if you're not in the right mood, right? Right mood is not for trading. You don't have to do yoga to become a good trader. You know, all these crazy things people say because they don't know what the chart is doing. They don't understand structure. So they tell you all kinds of crazy stuff so that you believe it, right? And most people believe it. Oh yeah, if I'm not well cool and calm, and I'm not cool and calm all the time, but I still trade and I still make money. Thought I wouldn't be cool and calm if somebody's disturbing me in the middle of my working day for no reason. That doesn't stop me from clicking a trade at the same moment. Right? It has nothing to do with that because I do understand what I'm doing. And there's a trade setup and my strategy say buy. What does that got to do with whether I'm in a bad mood? I mean, just you guys have to start asking questions to these gurus out there. Like I'm saying, ask me all your questions. I'm telling you right now, ask me all the questions you want. Any question about anything. As long as it has to do with trading, I'll try to answer it. Right? So light the candle before trading, right? All of those stuff, right? Those are crazy stuff. You guys just be realist. Say, hey, this guy said that. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. And you should not be following it, right? So let's go. I missed a few questions. Some people saw it as an ascending. Well, yeah, great. You probably saw something better than I don't see it as an ascending triangle. So if you saw it as that way, wonderful. It worked for you this time. How often do you see something called an ascending triangle? That's the question, right? If every time you see an ascending triangle behaves a great way, wonderful, congratulations. I'm not saying you're wrong. Please, can you show the 3 patterns you identified? Follow me next week and all the things we'll show you. I think we showed you guys the AB squeeze already, right? We showed that one. I think I might have showed you, during my time when we do get caught in one of those patterns, we show you them. Ascending triangle. I think all of you remember the Pong Yen and the AB squeeze. Come on, who wasn't there? Oh, good. Somebody just right there. The Pong Yen and the AB squeeze. That was the most famous one, right? Where the trolls were going like, hey, he says it's going to go up, look, it's going down. And I was like, okay, relax. Go learn something. Ascending triangle reversal pattern in the case because we don't deal with ascending triangle is a technical term. We deal with wave analysis. So it's useless to discuss what people think and what they do. Do you trade different pairs with that have very high swaps? I don't really look at that, Daniel. I hardly look at what the swap is, what the commission is, because it's minor factor. I don't think whatever the broker's taking is taking. I don't care. I still make money. So, I mean, you want to know how much money I paid Saxo? They actually have it here, 12,000 for that period of time that I'm trading. They have it here, I can tell you, right? They're not making it a secret. $12,000 commission. Look, you see that? I think all of you can see it. They're not making it a secret how much commission they took from me. Come on, what's the hell wrong with this? Yeah, look, $12,000. That's how much money Saxo made from me. So I think a good client. They're like, hey, we need people like these, right? This guy just paid us $12,000 for 4 months, right? I mean, come on, they gotta like me, right? $4,000, $12,000 4 months. He's trading like hell. He's making money, right? Like he's paying us. So I'm not worried about that. I made $198,000. I paid him 12. Isn't that fair enough? Come on, they have to make money. They have a business to run, right? They have a business to run. If I made 198 and they make 12, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. So I don't focus on, those are minor things. Don't focus on that, guys. Like I said, most of you are focused. You know why most of you are focused on those minor things? Because most of the gurus out there want you to focus on those crap. They're distracting you. They're telling you all kinds of stuff. They're like magicians. They're putting their hands on all kinds of stuff. Hey, look at this. You have to be a yoga to trade. You have to do this. You have to control your fear. You have to blah, 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 blah. You have to look at the rates. You have to look at that. You have to look at this. You only need to do one thing. You need to understand the structure. You need to know how to have a good strategy to enter the market. And you need to trade. You don't need anything else. Most of it is just noise, right? Have you ever seen a doctor who says, oh, I'm not going to work today, I'm in a bad mood? Have you seen a lawyer who called you, you have to go to court today, and the lawyer called you and said, you know what, let's not go to court today. I'm not in a good mood. We're not going to court. I wouldn't be able to function. You don't see that, right? Or there's a war going on and some of the soldiers said, hey, we woke up this morning, we're not in a good mood. We're not going to the war today. Let them fight with others. Right? Or I don't know. What else? Who else you know, right? Who else do you know that is a good professional in any sphere? Right? Or the pilot. He wakes up, he has a flight the next morning and he wakes up and he said, the hell was that flight? I'm in a bad mood. I'm not in my A mood today, so I'm not going there. Let them fly without me. Professionals don't do those crap. They just don't. That's it. These are common things. You guys should know these. These are common sense things, right? A fire worker, right? Yes, exactly. Michael says the right one. That's the most dangerous. A fireman sitting and said, hey, the hell was that? Let the fire burn. I'm not in the mood to go out to, take out any fire now. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't have my A mood. Or let me go do some yoga before I go deal with that fire. Or let me go find a psychologist to deal with me before I go take out the fire. I need some psychology on how this thing is working. I've seen too many burn buildings, so I'm not going anywhere. All of those guys, meditation in front of the fire, right? You have to question these things. You have to question these people. I know I'm going to get a lot of bad comments on this chart, but it's the honest thing to do. You have to be open. You have to let people, you guys see what I'm doing. I'm open. I'm an open book, right? I look at the charts, not the fundamentals. Thought of Brexit fundamentals. No, I don't care about fundamentals and Brexit and all of that. So what? You remember when they first started with the Brexit? We have predicted that down move 2 years before that pound was going to fall regardless. And nobody was talking about Brexit then. If you go back, look at my Facebook page. Somebody may even dig up the chart from my Facebook page and post it for you here. I posted that chart that pound is going to fall way beyond the low 2 years before Brexit. Somebody can go to my Facebook page and find it and bring it up to you, bring it up for you, right? So the Brexit has very little to do with what's going to happen with the currency. You believe the people who are manipulating a currency, and like I said, everything is being manipulated. Let me just make that very clear. That's part of the market. You call it manipulation. I call it part of the market. Don't you think they know about Brexit and what's going to happen and what's not going to happen and how people may react to it and how people might not react to it? They look at their balance and everybody wants to buy pound, everybody wants to sell pound. Great, we'll take the trade and then we'll drop it the other way. Do you have an advice for university students trading Forex? Focus on your university studies. That's my advice. Forget about Forex. When you finish, you can come to Forex. Focus on one thing at a time. That's my principle. Do one thing, but do it good. Don't do two. Finish your college, finish your university, be the best student there, come out, and then if you still think Forex is your thing, let's talk. Trade Forex. We can trade Forex after that. But focus on the one thing. Be good at it first. Don't try to do two at the same time and you'll do both not so good.
I'm not saying you personally, right? I'm saying basically people who focus on too many things, they can't do them good. So focus on one, be the best students, give it your all, come out with your A grade, we'll all congratulate you. And then you come back to Forex. If you still think you want to do Forex after that, you can come back. Now you have your degree, and we can, you can be relaxed and you will be able to focus on Forex. But your degree is more important. At least in a normal world, your degree is more important than Forex. That is a guarantor that you're going to get a job, or you would likely find a good job. But trading Forex, you have to learn it. You have to master it. You have to be like Nora, take you a year or so to master it and then triple your account, right? Nora did that, by the way, and she showed us her account, and we were all proud of her, right? It takes a while, right? It takes a good time to learn it and a lot of stress too, but she learned it and she managed and she's doing well. So more questions. I was expecting a ton of questions I wouldn't be able to answer. The questions are not coming. Let's go. Oil is killing. Okay, I don't know who oil is killing, but it's not. We'll be in the trade, guys. We will be in all these trades if they're killing. Oh, it's going up. Yeah, there was a little buy setup. Actually, I didn't think this was going to go so big term up on the buy setup and this one. But you have to start being careful of it because, as you can see, it's getting a lot of divergence and it might be changing direction very soon. You have been approved to work for. Congratulations. See? That's it. Congratulations. Well done. Right? And that's the whole point. A lot of traders that I know, they actually got into big firms. Some people who took my training went into big firms to work. That's okay. You get the knowledge, you go, you implement it, and you make money, right? So that is it. More questions? I was hoping that there were going to be a lot more questions. So remember, guys, next week, the whole week, starting from tomorrow, I'm going to be with you. I want all of you to at least invite one person. And there are more than one person you definitely know out there who doesn't know anything about me, right? I'm from Guyana. I don't know how many of you know where that is. Give me a Y if you know where that is. Not my students, all of you, all my students know where that is because they know, they've already looked it up, right? So I'm from Guyana. I went from Guyana. Let me show you how my life went. My great-great-grandparents were from India. During the British colonial time, they went to Guyana. That's 2 generations or 3 generations before me. I don't know exactly how much, right? They went to Guyana, yes, northern Brazil. And then from there, I lived there. I went to school. I got a scholarship to go study in Russia. It was then the Soviet Union. I got a scholarship to go study in the Soviet Union. I was studying medicine there for like 4.5 years before the Soviet Union collapsed. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, they had something called the liberalization of price. How do you call it? I hope that's what I'm translating correct, which is where the price was government controlled, but then they just liberated and the price become market control. So the stipend I was getting from the government was not enough to live on. And a lot of people, that was a really tough period in the Soviet life for a lot of people. I mean, really, people went bankrupt, it was really tough. And I was in that tough situation. You don't even want to know how tough it was for me. I can tell you, you don't really want to know that because that was probably the toughest part of my life I had to live in. And I made a choice. I made a conscious choice not to ask any of my family for help because I think I was old enough not to do that. And I figured out I'll get myself a job, finish my university and go home. So that was my figure out. I'll go get myself a job, finish the university and then go home because financially it wasn't possible to. And for a whole year, I couldn't get a job. It took about 2 years before I eventually find a job. And then the job was to work for a Singaporean company that was selling electronic stuff over there. And then I figured out, hey, why work for them? Let me go open my own shop. And I did that. And make a long story short, I did a very good business. And I became a very good businessman for 10 years in Russia in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000 years. And then I sold the business, right? And then went back to Guyana. And then left Guyana, went back to Russia, and then from Russia I came here. So how did I get into trading Forex, from a business to trading the Forex? It's like making $1 million and losing $1 million, if you can call it that. Literally, making $1 million and losing $1 million. That's what brought me to Forex. I did not trade it. I wish I had the I would say sense. I did not have enough sense probably in me to decide that these guys, there are scammers out there and there are people who are going to break you if you let them trade for you. I did one of the worst things you could ever do. I think if you've seen my interview before, you will know. It's a long story, so I don't want to get into it here now. But I made the biggest mistake. I thought people are going to make money for you for free, and that's not so. So they end up losing all my money, and then I figured, oh, well, if all my money is gone, I may as well go figure out what the hell is Forex, right? Now that I have nothing to do and no money, I may as well just go figure out what the hell just happened to me, right? Anil, did you refuse existence of stop hunt? Of course, it doesn't exist. There is nothing like stop hunt. So how market liquidity in order to fill huge orders? So what has filling huge order got to do with hunting your stops? That's business. That's filling. That's how the market moves. The market moves by filling orders. That's the first class I teach you when you come to my course. How the market moves. Let me give you a very short rundown so you can understand what is a market. What is a market? Anybody know what a market is? What's the definition of a market? I think all of you may have read it in the internet. A definition of a market is when, well, you can put it in all of that, but let me just explain a simple thing. Buyers and sellers, that's a market. But is when if you have buyers and you have sellers, doesn't mean you have a market. You just have buyers and sellers. A market is a transaction. It's when you have two people who has agreed on a price, but not on value. So if you're selling a car and I want to buy the car, the two of us there, you have a car, you're selling, I have money and I want to buy a car. But unless we had agreed on the price, we don't have a market, right? There's no market. It's there, but we're there. We're negotiating, but we don't have a market as yet, right? No transaction. So unless we agreed on the price of the car, not the value of the car, the price of the car, then we have a transaction. So you think you have got the best value for your car, and I think I've got the best value for my money. So we disagreed on value. You think the car is worth the money you got, and I think the car is, but we've agreed on the price. For you, money has more value. For me, the car has more value. I need a car to travel. You need money to do something else, right? So the value of what we think, we disagreed on, but guess what we agreed on? The price, right? So that's a market. When you see market is going like this, guess what's happening there? There are transactions taking place. When market is in consolidation, there are transactions taking place. It means there are enough people, buyers and sellers, who have decided that at this price, they like it. They would buy and sell. I'm buying, you're selling, we like the price here. But at some point in time, that is going to change, right? And it will change because there aren't enough people who would like to buy here, or there aren't enough people who would like to sell here. Agreed? So if somebody wants to buy, I don't know, 10 million of whatever you're selling, but nobody wants to sell 10 million of whatever you're selling, the price is going to go up until he finds somebody who's willing to sell him. If somebody wants to sell 10 million and nobody wants to buy it from him, the price will drop until he finds somebody who's willing to buy it from him. Now, can you tell whether the price is going to go up or the price is going to go down? That's a question for all of you. Can any one of you tell which way it's going to go? People, the general opinion out there is no, you can't tell it. Most traders think, oh no, you can't tell. It's a random thing. It's going to, depends on what comes in, depends on supply and demand, depends on the news, depends on blah, 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 blah. And they may be right. To an extent, they may be right. But here is a problem. You can't use that to define whether it's going to happen because you don't know whether there's more supply or more demand. You don't know that. You don't have access to all of that. You don't know whether the news is going to be positive or negative. So you can't use that information, right? Michael said it's 50-50. And I'm telling you, no, it's not. I'm telling you, you can know that. And you can know that way before it happens. What we teach you is how to look at what's happening here. Look at what's happening in here. And by what's happening in here, there is a very 90% chance you will know which side the currency is going to go. If you can read this corrective structure, we call that the corrective structure, that is transactions happening. If you can read into it correctly, your accuracy, you have an edge in the market, and that's your edge. The accuracy with which you can do this is very high. So can you read what's happening here? Well, that's what we teach you to do. It's not magic. We teach you, we take a chart like this, and we said, guys, when you see something like this happening in the market will go up because it's coming this way. So what we teach you to read what happened when the transactions are happening, not when it's moving away, but when they're buying and selling, which side is likely to win that battle. We're telling you, based on what we see here, there's a higher probability that the orders coming in to buy is going to overdo the orders coming in to sell. And it doesn't mean every time they make a correction, that is what's going to happen. Because remember, they have trend change. So do you see trend change sometimes? Yes, we see it. So we're saying, oh, wait a second. How do I know 1 year before this thing turned? Let's go to the Aussie New Zealand. How do I know 1 year? Oh, sorry, that's not there. Where's the Aussie New Zealand? 1 year before this Aussie New Zealand starts to go up. I mean an entire year before it starts to go up. Maybe more than a year, which is way back when they did this and they started to do all of this. I'm telling you, when they break that low, go back and look at the webinar, not one webinar, but 10 webinars will tell you that. When they break the low, they'll start to go back up. How do I know that? How did that prediction be so accurate? It's simple. I'm looking at what the hell they're doing in here. And actually, we predicted this down move. Just for your information, we predicted that down move. We predicted this up move. We predicted this down move. So how do I know all of that? We're looking at what they're doing at any one present time in the corrective structure. And we read it correctly. And we tell you, this is what, we are correct 90% of the time. But guys, when they do this, this is what the outcome will be. This is what you will get. This is what you will see. So there were more people in the room and a lot of them left here. And it's a good thing a lot of them left. And I hope they don't watch this recording to the end, because this is giving away part of one of the classes we teach. Right? So I hope that they don't watch this to the end. They will not learn that fast if they're not willing to listen, right? Sometimes you said the market move because of how nature works and that there are everywhere patterns. That's true, because we do things everywhere, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you eat your breakfast, you go to work. You part of nature? So how much people do exactly what you do? Sleep, wake up, brush their teeth, eat, go to work. Do we have a pattern? Is that pattern nature? It's that. How do you think currencies are traded? Banks, people wake up, they go to their work at the bank, they start filling orders. Should I continue or do you see it? Right? It's basic stuff. It's not this is not magic, guys. I don't have a crystal ball here. Or maybe I have one, I'm just not telling you. I would never tell you anyway. Maybe I have one, so you guys can make a guess. You can read it. You can read into it and tell what it's doing, right? So you can look at that. How did we get that move to the upside? Why did I buy at the bottom here? Why did I buy at the bottom of the Euro New Zealand? Look at the Euro New Zealand. I didn't tell me they were going to move that up, but I've been telling you they'll move it up whether they break the low or not. I got that trade from here to the top there and took the profit. Right? If you look at it, Euro New Zealand is one of my winning trades, one of the ones that's giving me more profit than most of the trades, right? So let's go back to this one. And silver is still my winning one. Euro New Zealand is my second winning one. Look at this. Oh, sorry. Again, it moved away. Look at it. How did I know that was going to happen? So look at this. Silver is still my boss. That is because silver is in drawdown. But New Zealand dollar is the second one. Euro New Zealand is there. See, Euro New Zealand, 20K. On a single trade. That was a single trade. One single trade in the Euro New Zealand. So how did I know that was going to happen? Way before it happened. And I was prepared to get into that trade and take it. How do I know it? They were telling me that way back before it happened. You know how long they were trying to tell me, hey, there was a good buy here. Right? So let me show you. Once they started to do this, we bought here, we bought here, we bought here, and we bought here. All of those buys were either close or break even or profit. And guess what? Now they're breaking out there. We will watch this pattern. There's a chance they can do that, or there's a chance they can do that. I'm telling you that right now. And whichever way they go, we will see it and we will trade it. No, you can't enter Aussie New Zealand now. That's what I'm saying. You don't understand it. That's why you were saying if you can enter now. You shouldn't and you can't enter now, right? See? So we teach you all this stuff. We show you how it works. There is no crystal ball. That's what we teach you here. More questions, guys. I think you're getting it. You're getting a lot of stuff. Let's go. And that's what it is about, understanding. It's like you go to the doctor. How many of you have ever, I hope, let me don't say that. I hope none of you have heart problems. But people who have heart problems, they go to the doctor and they say, Doc, I'm feeling a problem, and my heart is beating. What does the doctor do? Does he open the heart to check, see what's happening there? No. He says, okay, go do a few tests. He looks at the test. One of them is a cardiogram. He looks at it and he said, you know what? I don't like these few spikes here. They're telling me something is wrong with the valve. And then he do one more test and he said, yeah, it's your valve. We will have to probably change it. How does he know that? He's not looking into your heart. He's looking at a specific pattern. There are many other things that could happen. Each pattern that he sees there will tell him which part of the heart or what of the heart or where or what is the issue. Each pattern will tell him something. So he doesn't have to cut you every time to figure out what's in there or what is the issue. Now, is that nature? See, it's easy. The reason we know when weather, they look at patterns. That's how they do. You know how to make weather forecasts? Patterns. It's all about patterns, guys. Anywhere in your life, it's all about patterns, behavioral patterns. You can tell what a person would become by their behavioral patterns. I've been telling you this for a very, very long time. Do you use indicators? No, I don't. Well, depends what you mean by indicator. We use MACD, we use trend lines, we use fibs. I don't know which one you're really going to look at as an indicator and what we use it for. Even if I'm going to use an indicator, it will have to be for a specific reason and definitely not for a trading purpose. Right? It's probably going to tell me something, but it's not telling me take the trade now. Right? So you got it, right? There are patterns all over. People behavior patterns is very important. This is why you want to know somebody is scamming you. Ask them a few questions like this. Tell them, hey, how about you take some questions from them, show us your account, do exactly what that guy did, show us your account, and then take questions. Right? See how many of them are willing to do that. Then you would know that's a behavioral pattern. Is that person genuinely a trader, or is he trying to scam you? That's how you can deal with it. That's how you can solve the problem. It's easy. So let's go back to trading again. Come on, anybody, any questions? You see, I'm open to questions. You guys don't even have questions. How many of you? 72 here. How many in YouTube? Anybody still in YouTube? Because they can't ask questions there. Anybody still there? They can listen, but they can't ask questions. Can somebody check and see if there's anybody in YouTube still? I'd be surprised because they can't ask questions. 194. Wow. That's a lot of people listening, not willing to ask questions. Oh, some of you here are there, but 194, that's a lot. So great. So you see, do you think you can forecast other charts like the development of population? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Actually, you can do that. I just left YouTube. Great. So you're here. So that's great. You're here. You can ask your questions. So here's what we're going to do the whole week. This is how we're going to structure the week. Let me don't force you guys to ask questions because it seems people don't want to ask, right? Is very similar to. Are you trying to advertise somebody here, Manpreet? It seems like you're trying to put an advertisement out here. You asked the question once and I told you already, so you're asking the same question second time, right? What's your point? You can ask your question. Go ahead. Somebody said they came in from YouTube to ask the question. You can go ahead and ask your question. So while you're preparing your question, let me tell you what we're going to do next week. So we're going to trade. And during the trading sessions, if there is no active trade, we will look at charts. If there is no setup in the charts, we will take questions. So join me. You will be there for 2 hours. 2 hours is a very long time. You're going to be there and you'll have everything you want. I'll take some questions from you guys. So bring a friend along. Let's hope 195 people there and 72 here. Let's say some of you are there and here. Let's say all in 210. I think we can bring a couple thousand people. I'm sure you know 500 people out there who's never seen my video before. Do you have office? No, I trade from home. I don't have an office. Is it possible for someone to grow at $200? Depends. I don't know. I've never seen someone who done it, but people. There's a lot of myth out there that people have done that. People have made millions from 200. I think that's all BS. I've let them come and show us, and then we'll say, oh yeah, well yes, I've never seen it. Are your group guys interested in bonds and treasuries? I don't know. People may have traded. People might be trading that in the group. I'm not sure about it. What time? Time, please. Time for what? The free webinars? You're kidding me, right? Really? Okay, you'll figure it out. I think you guys know. It's on my Facebook page. I showed it at the start of the webinar. I showed it again. Come on, you guys can't figure out something like that. It's easy. Go to my Pro page. You'll find it. It's here. See, this is the free webinar 1 week, right? I promise you I'm doing it. I told you guys I'll do it, right? I'm a man of my word. I told you, hey, I missed a few webinars. Don't worry. I'll do 1 week free for you guys. I mentioned that, right, earlier. Well, I'm doing it. You can always get it. It's always on my Facebook page. You should be there. And this is why you should set your Facebook page to give you notification when I post something. Because every now and then I may post something important like this and you may miss it. It's a good thing it's happening before the weekly outlook, so you get the information. You might not have get it. And I hope you can share it with another 100 people, right? Please share it with another 100 people you know. Let's bring a couple thousand people to this webinar. Let's go. Not in Facebook. Got you. You got it from Twitter. That's okay. You can. It's the same thing. The link is on Twitter as well. We can meet and can I talk to you about trading? Can we meet and talk to you? You're in Dubai? Thank you. And if you're the first time you haven't learned anything, is what you would learn if you stick around for the next week with us. And if you invite some people across, JT, invite your friends across, tell them to come and watch live trading. You don't see that very often. How many times? Okay, let's ask the question this way. How many of you have seen someone on the internet here trading, who's one of these groups, trading a live $500,000 account free, trading a $500,000 account live for you guys? Give me a yes if you've seen it before. Not me. I know you've seen me. Give me a yes if you see anyone else do it. Anyone. Just give me a yes if you've seen it. You haven't, right? And you probably wouldn't. So go. You can go now. Look at all the webinars. Go to YouTube and just click Forex trading. And you will see all the gurus there. And then you can go to each one of them and ask them a question. Hey, how about you do some week of live trading with your real account for us? You can do that. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm saying you can do that. Maybe they will do it, right? Maybe a lot of them will follow my footsteps, and that would be great for all of us. If everybody started doing that, we can rid the internet of scammers. All the good people will do it, and the ones who are not so good will eventually figure out they don't have anything to do on the internet there. They can't scam people because everybody will see the good one from the bad ones, right? He has the monitor for his profile and he was blocked from the group. Well, that's not a group you want to be in. That's one of the group you run from, right? If that happens. How much risk do you use? Oh, I think I answered that question already. If you can manage 5%, that's okay. If you can handle the 5%, is how much risk you can handle. That should be the question. How much can you handle? Can you handle losing 5%? Great, do it. They said they're my student. Who is that? I can tell you if he's my student. If he said it. Maybe he bought the course and I kick him out of the group. I don't know. I'm not sure he's my student. I can tell you I'm not sure he's my student. There's a lot of people here who might never be my student. People claim to be my student. They might not be, right? There are a lot of people who would claim that. Okay, sorry, I missed some questions. Let me go. This transparency is great. Transparency is always good. At least it lets you know what the person's intentions are. Not the question, because I have been following you for a couple of years now, and it's amazing that you're learning about basics, market movement, and the simple logic of trade. if I start to make things complicated, I go back and okay, good. Great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. One of the reasons I do this is to help traders. I don't like to say that because it's too common. Every person who's trading out there use the same thing. Hey, I'm here to help traders. It's not what you say, it's what you do. Right? And remember, I started this by showing you guys a poll I took, right? I started this whole session by showing you this poll. Let me open the poll again. And it's what you do. Let me bring this back to, it's not what traders say they are doing. It's what they do in their group and what they do out of their group. So what am I doing? I'm doing a free webinar for you guys and I'm showing you live trading in my account. Now, can you make a real choice of who am I by that? No. Ask the people in my group and then you will see what I'm doing for my group. I did a poll, but not a poll so that I can come and boast to you how many people are winning. Because immediately after the poll, what I did was creating a group for these people and they're right now in that group where I'm training them. I immediately asked every single one of them to come back, come to me, tell me, just send me a message and I'll add all of you to a group, and I add all of them into a group. And I said, I'm here to make sure you guys be successful. I started with that. All of you have to double your account by the end of this year. That's my goal. Make sure, work with those people to make sure they double their account. Did I have to do that? They finished the course. Some of them finished the course a year ago. Did I have to do that with them? No. They're not paying me anything for that. I didn't have to do it. Would I not do it if I have a second chance? That's not me. I would do it a second and a third and a fourth chance. If I would do exactly that again. That's what you are. It's your character, what you do. I'm here to make sure those guys make money. They're successful. There's nothing that makes me happier than when one of my traders, I wake up in the morning and then I get a message. Hey, look at my account. I double it. I'm doing amazing. Thank you very much. That makes my day. Nothing makes me happier than that. Well, I mean, in terms of trading, not personal life. In my trading career, that's it. Not how much money I make, but how my traders are doing. That's what makes your day. You wake up and you get those messages, and I get a lot of them. You know that. Wake up and I get those messages, personal message coming to me. Hey, look at my account this month. Right? And I know that I'm doing well. I'm like, this is amazing, right? I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is what I want. I like to see people make money. Do you have a website? How do I know? Oh, somebody's trying to call. Okay, good. How do I know your course schedule, teaching timings, and course duration fees? Send me a message on Skype. Good question. I probably should have started with that. Send me a message on Skype. My Skype is, let me just put that back so you can see that. I probably have to type in MANGAL 457. Send me a message on Skype and you will get all the info. If for any reason you think that Skype, somebody's trying to scam you, ask me. Say, hey, can you confirm to me that you're Adam Mangle? I will. Because there are people who are trying to scam people using my name. Personally, they're using my name out there, right? So don't fall for those scammers. And like I said, there are many people trying to say things about me. You can listen to them and you can choose to believe them, or you can choose to come and check my profile, see what I do, and make your own decision. If you're smart enough, that is what you will do. You will come to my profile, look at what I do, and make your decision. If you're not, well, you will listen to them and then, great, you shouldn't be in my group if you're not that smart, right? How much is the course? Like I just said, send me an email. We don't want to bother everybody here. Send me a Skype message and immediately you will get all the details. It's not only the cost of the course, how the duration, the time, and what else you get for it, right? All of that you get. So make your choice. Okay, guys, I'll just probably call it off because there are no more questions. I was hoping you guys would send a whole lot of questions. Any idea about this group and mentor where we trade with? They get half of your fee to trade. I don't know. There are many people there. There's so much. I don't, like I said, I don't discuss people in here, right? There are many people out there doing a whole lot of stuff. What do I care, right? You have a choice. You want to join them, Fred? Go ahead. It's your choice. When you finish there, I've had a lot of people who do that. They bought a course of $500 from some guy who is teaching them waves, and then they come back and pay for my course. So they end up paying double. That's great. They will learn something eventually. And I may understand that maybe you are the owner of that group and you're trying to push your ad here too, which is very petty of you if that is the case, right? You may be the owner of that. We don't know, right? Maybe you're the owner or you're trying to plug it here, which is a very petty thing to do, but it shows your character if you are, right? It's just character. I always say it comes back. Did the owner of We Trade Waves show you a live account? Does he have a live $500,000 account he's showing you next week? The question is to you, Fred, since you're asking. I don't like to discuss people. Well, that answers your question, right? Let's not discuss people, guys. Don't put people name in here. Let's discuss issues. Let's discuss what moves the market. Why does the market work? I like those questions. People are asking very good questions here today, right? The question I like most is the question about Bitcoin. Where the guy said, you make the forecast, it didn't work. Show us why and show us what you did. I love that question more than of all the questions I heard. I think that's what was the most important questions for traders, because it didn't go the way I wanted. So why didn't it go, and what did you see, and where did you make it wrong? Where was your wrong forecast? Remember, we do forecasts, and forecasts can go wrong. Yes, send me all the messages. Don't worry, I will answer your messages. Right? So basically, okay, guys, all of you have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't worry, we're not going away for far. We will be together for the whole week, right? And please share this message as much as possible. Let people know. Here's the thing. It's not about people buying my course. People may say you're saying share so people get buy it. It's not about that. Most of them will never buy my course anyway, because they're either trading a small account or they're not ready for it. They don't have a year experience. But it's going to save them from buying crap. It's going to save them from being scammed out there. They will listen, and maybe they will take heed that, hey, maybe I shouldn't go buy a course now. Let me do some more research. Because that was my answer on the side that they removed the question. That was my answer. My answer was that first, you need the person to show you that he's a genuine trader, has a live account. And second, do your research. You do your research on anything and on everyone, and then you make the decision. They didn't like the answer. Well, I think they didn't like the answer because I plug in the 1 week free video, and they probably thought that was an ad, so they took it out. So anyway, guys, follow me on Facebook so you can get my update every time I post something. And great to see all of you here. Thank you for coming. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, not next week. See all of you tomorrow. I want to see all of you and all your friends tomorrow there who are trading. Right? Let's make it amazing. Let's make sure the week go good. I can't promise you it's going to go good, but let's hope so. We're going to try our best. So see all of you tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for being here, and have a great week ahead of you. Bye-bye.